Hey guys, and welcome back. To- Today we will be discussing how to do GK places for Judicial Services Exam. Most of you know that there are three stages to Judicial Services Exam: PT, Mains, and Interview. For PT, you will need to do current GK and static GK, and for Mains also you will have to do current GK and static GK, and then for Interview, a limited amount of current GK on which you might be questioned. So the crux is that you have to do GK for both PT and Mains. And within GK, there are certain themes which are repeatedly asked, like important places, important people, instruments, capitals, currency, the whole shebang. If you want, we can do a separate video on all the themes that are important under GK, but today we will be limiting ourselves to places. GK places for PT and Mains. Places can be currently important places which are in the news every day in the newspapers, and then there are places which are important in static GK. These places are some sort of landmarks or something that have made their way into static GK and are considered important. Now, places are repeatedly asked in PT and in Mains for almost all states. Delhi, Haryana, UP, all of these states will ask you places. So you have to do the important places which are right now in news in current GK, and also all the important places which fall under static GK, which are landmarks or which have been important for a fair amount of time and can be asked. If you go through any of the papers which I will show you, you will see that places are asked almost every year. For example, here we can see the Delhi Judicial Services paper of 2010. And it says what are the following associated with? Give one line answers for 10 marks. Over here you can give one line answer about the place, and that in the 10 marks question there are multiple places asked, like Sriharikota, Sarnath, Konark, Kanyakumari, Hemkund. This is also from 2010 and it asks about Haiti and Dantewara. Then 2011 again, Delhi Judiciary paper, you can see they've again asked places like Auroville, Majoli, Bhimbetka, Constantinople. So these places can be something which are capitals or which have been famous for one reason or another, like Kundankulam, which was in the current news at that point, and Wheeler Island. Now I want you to remember these because we will be discussing this in this video. Remember Wheeler Island because I'll give you a nice example to see how you do places better. Wheeler Island was asked in 2011. Then this is 2007. Deva Sun Temple, Jadugoda Mines, Rajaji National Park, again 2007. So you can see that there is a theme. They keep asking places. These places can be important landmark, heritage sites, current places, static places. For current places there are only one or two, and if you're reading the newspaper regularly you will be aware of any current place that is in news right now. For the static places you have to do a little bit more work, and that's what we will be discussing now. We have seen that places are important, they're repeatedly asked, there's a theme to it. Now if you have our GK book, I want you to take a look at page 11. If you don't have a GK book, don't worry, just keep looking at the screen. Page 11 to 66, we have provided all the static important places. So this is page 11 onwards. Over here you can see that we've given a list. Abu Ghraib, Gaza, Singur, Tahrir Square, Taksim Square. Kota. Now take a look at this. Remember we saw in 2011 Delhi Judiciary paper had a question on Wheeler Island. Now what is Wheeler Island? An island off the coast of Orissa, India, and it has a missile testing facility on the island. So it can be used for missile launch or missile testing. That is the theme. Now you see here that this over here we provided Sriharikota. Sriharikota is also a barrier island, and it houses the Satish Dhawan Space Center. It is a launch pad, one of the two launch pads. So the best way to, when you see that there has been Wheeler Island in the past and you know that it is a launch pad, what you do next is that you see what other launch pads are there. So this is a subset of the places. One of the kinds of places that judiciary exams like to ask is anything related to missile launch pads, missile testing centers. So you find out all the other centers or missile pads that are there, then you batch them up, and then you do all of those. So that one area which is related to missile launch pads is covered by you. You don't have to just do Wheeler Island, which was asked in the past. Of course, you have to do Wheeler Island, but you also do all the other missile related launch pads or testing centers. So that theme or that subset of the places is covered, because they will ask around it. They might ask Wheeler Island or they might ask other missile launch centers. You know they like this theme. You know they like this topic of missile launch centers and places related to it. So you do all the places related to it. Now you don't have to do anything. If you have our ASAP Law book, we've already done it for you. Like over here we've given you Thumba, Sriharikota, Satish Dhawan Space Center, Chandipur, Balasore. You can see that we have themed all the places which are related to this topic of missiles and launch centers and launch pads, and we have batched them up. So all of these places on page 12 have already been batched up. See, that is how you do places. You see what has been asked in the past. What was the theme of that place? Was it a World Heritage Site? Was it a UNESCO site? Was it a missile launch center? Then you pick up that theme and you cover all the places in that theme. We've already done it for you. We've taken all the places in the various themes that have been asked, and we've patched them up, and we've also added pictures so it's easier for you to understand where they're located, how they look. You will have a better memory. So these all on page 12 are related to missile launch centers, and we've patched them up. Then you can see we have Thromboy, Dargah of Mainuddin Chisti, Rani Ki Vav. All of these are repeatedly asked. Now, Jagannath Temple, we saw it in one of the papers. Konark, so often asked. Puri, Chilka Lake. And over here we have national parks. And then we've batched up all the national parks, and we've given you maps of where these parks are located, so it's easier for you. When you're writing the one-line answer, it's good if you write an additional line about the park, something that others won't. That ways you get a little bit of advantage, like we've spoken about books and authors, that you don't just write who's written the book, but you also give one line about the book or what is the theme of that book. We've discussed that in a separate video. Similarly, over here, you write one line about this place that they've asked and you give one line additional, and that will establish your impression on the examiner, and they will see that this person is well read, this person has knowledge, has good GK, and then they tend to mark you better in other answers as well. And 1 to 2 mark answers are the perfect way to get marks because they're objective. You just need to know the place, and then if you give an additional line, you also establish your impression for the other upcoming answers that the examiner will check of yours. So after the national parks, we've also covered dams, and then 7 wonders of India, other prominent sites, all of them with pictures, of course, important places. The 7 ancient wonders, the 7 wonders of medieval world, then list of World Heritage Sites. Now this we've patched up in the book, and this is very important. This has been repeatedly asked. All of these sites are very important. The World Heritage Sites in India, they're often asked, so you have a paragraph about them on the right hand column. There are pictures. Sun Temple, Konark, we just saw it in the 2007 paper, I think. We've also have a category of other static places which are not very important, but they are significant. You should know a little bit about them. So we have created a separate category for that as well. So page 11 to 66, we've done all the places, patched them up by theme, and now you know that places are important. You know that you have to find the places in the past year papers. You have to find the themes that are important and that occur repeatedly in these papers. You find that theme, then you find all the places in that theme, and then you do all the places in that theme. If you have our book, just do page 11 to 66, because there we found out all the themes, we found out all the places in those themes, we patched them up, and we've given them in page 11 to 66 with pictures and batching. So that is how you do places in GK for Judicial Services Exam. We hope this helps, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified of new videos. And we've had a lot of requests on the upcoming Haryana Judiciary exam and the notification that came out. So don't worry, we're getting on it. So stay tuned for that. See you soon.